If there's any event that I'm probably most well known for as far as tennis goes, it's the '89 French Open. God has taught me an incredible amount of lessons through that event alone that I've applied in my life in so many different aspects of it. Thankful that I had the opportunity to play and to have it happen the way that it did. I'm Michael Chang. I am a former professional tennis player, full-time dad, chauffeur, caddy, tennis coach. For me, I'm very fortunate in the fact that I came to know the Lord my rookie year out on tour, which was 1988. Before all of the fame and before the French Open happened, before all the endorsements and all of these things, the Lord brought me to Himself first, and I always felt like that timing was crucial because it grounded me really into knowing what my purpose is out there on the tennis court. The reason I've been given this talent to play tennis, knowing those things, it was easier to go out there and just focus on my tennis and know that I'm trying to make the most out of this talent to be able to touch lives. Obviously, I still want to go out there and win tournaments. I still want to go out there and try to be the best player that I could be. But I have always realized that people will forget great shots. They'll forget great tournaments. But I think if you're able to touch a person's life, especially for the Lord, it stays with them for the rest of this lifetime and even beyond. To me, that's that's always been much greater, and I just feel like just staying close to the Lord, I just feel like in so many ways, obviously brings a greater joy in my life, but also helps me to, gives me direction and wisdom and in different things that I need to, questions and answers and different paths to take. And I just feel like if I'm walking with the Lord, I'm going to make better decisions than if I'm not. Tennis is a global sport, so obviously you've got a lot of people coming from all different parts of the world. I think that definitely now there are a lot more Asians now playing the sport of tennis. You look at the junior draws now, and there's a mix of Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Filipino, Vietnamese. I mean, it's great to see so many different Asians playing the sport. When I grew up, I mean, literally there were probably less than 5. So it's great to be able to see that, and hopefully as time goes on, there'll be more and more Asian tennis champions. Hopefully, particularly on the men's side. Our family foundation really has been, kind of an extension of tennis. We're still utilizing, tennis and sports as a means for outreach. We have our annual, Michael Chang Tennis Classic tournament. It's probably one of the biggest charity tennis tournaments in all of California, and we use it to obviously outreach, but we also use it to help, local charities, down in Orange County. And it's been just such a joy to be able to utilize tennis in that way. I feel like God's blessed me in the aspects of tennis, and to be able to use that still to be able to go out and to touch lives and to impact hearts has been a lot of fun, and it's been a great thing, something that we look forward to each year. Yeah, I mean, life is still super busy. Obviously, it's not out traveling out on tour all the time. I've been traveling with Kay, when he was out there playing on a regular basis quite a bit. And as our kids now are starting to get a little bit older and starting to do their own traveling now, I'm starting to travel a lot with my our oldest daughter, Lonnie, where she's playing a lot of tennis tournaments around the nation and a little bit internationally. It's been a lot of fun, and trying to just be a good husband and a good father, and trying to raise our kids and giving them the best opportunity that that they can possibly have, and we'll let God take it from there. I feel like God gives everybody a talent or multiple talents. Obviously, it's our job to find out what those talents are at a very young age. I think God puts each one of us in very unique opportunities, and that no matter where we are, no matter what we do, we have the opportunity to touch lives around us. And it may not necessarily be, out on the tennis court where people are watching you on TV. I've actually always felt like it was easier and actually almost even more effective to be able to have opportunities to actually talk to people more on a one-on-one basis or in a small group setting than it was to be out in a big stadium. So I think everyone's been gifted in different ways, but I think God surrounds you with people that where there are opportunities to impact their lives and in a positive way, maybe touch their lives for Christ. And I don't think that changes really, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter where you are in this world. We're all called to be ministers, and for each person that it's a little bit unique. Hi, I'm Michael Chang. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life.